Hi and welcome back to My Static Life. Now today I'm in a Willerby Rio and it is a 2014 Caravan, so it is quite old, but it is on the market for only £24,995, and there might even be a bit of a deal to be had with the sales guys because this is a former rental caravan. We had an owner that bought it. They've loved this caravan because it is a nice caravan, and then they've recently upgraded. So there might even be a little bit of playing about to get that a little bit cheaper. So this caravan, it's already 10-year old. So you might be thinking, well, I don't want to pay all that for a van that's only got 10 years. Well, they've recently done some changes to the contracts, and some caravans now come with 22-year lease. So you can now have essentially 12 years in this caravan should you want it. Hasn't got central heating, but it is double glazed, which is going to make a massive impact on basically how warm it is on a night. This particular model is a 3-bedroom version. It is 36 foot by 12 foot, and I'm currently sat here in the living room. This sofa that I'm currently sat on, it is pretty much a brand new sofa. I believe they installed this last year. It's got nice big thick cushions. It can fit all the family on quite comfortably, as it literally takes up probably half of the living room. The only downside of it is we get that age-old problem. We've got the TV cabinet in the corner, which means if you sat here on an evening watching TV, you're fine on this side of the sofa, but on that side of the sofa, you're going to struggle to see the TV. So realistically, you've got enough space seating for maybe 4 people to sit comfortably watching the TV. However, there is like a bit of a chimney breast where the gas fire is. Now, that's clearly there to hide pipes, but you could potentially attach a TV onto that wall and go big with it, maybe, right? But you'd have to come wider than the actual chimney breast to get a decent sized TV on there, and that could potentially allow it for everyone to be able to see the TV. But you know, you might just be happy if there's just 2 of you to leave the TV in the corner and watch it there. Below the TV, we've got a little cupboard and some drawers to hide your DVDs or your games or whatever else in. For whatever reason, it looks like it's not on its runners. It just needs pulling out and popping back in place. And then above the TV, we've got 2 shelves in which you can put your knickknacks and anything fancy to make the caravan look pretty. Then we've got some nice big windows letting in plenty of light around the caravan. They've got a nice soft pelmet going around them, and then some grey curtains. It looks quite tidy. And then from there, at the side of me here, there's a little cabinet. It'll be ideal to put your coffee on it. However, there's no plug there, so you've got nowhere to plug your phone in, and there's no plugs at the side of the sofa. On the other side, there'll only be the plugs by the TV. That's probably because it's a 10-year-old van, so they've not really thought, oh, we'll bang plugs in everywhere. So you are going to struggle with that. You're probably going to have to use one of the plugs that are in the kitchen and leave your phone over there, meaning you can't use it here. There's not... Oh, there is one plug next to the fireplace, so you could potentially plug your phone in there and leave your phone on the fireplace while you charge it. And again, the carpet, it looks like it's had a new carpet in the last year or so. It's a nice, fairly decent, fluffy carpet. And then just by the window next to the door, we've got a little wooden dining table with 4 chairs, that looks, you know, it's alright in it. It's just a nice little dining table. Probably not the original that came with it, but it does look like it fits in well with the rest of the decor of the living room. So now we're going to have a quick nose around the kitchen, and there's something missing in the kitchen, so I'll show you that now. And then in editing we can just sort it. We're recording. Right, so we're in the kitchen, and it's a small kitchen. It's got a U shape, so we have got like a little bit of an island here, some nice potpourri stuff to make it look pretty. And I do quite like this because, you know, you're making your cup of tea over here, you can talk to the person on the sofa, it's not an issue. What I would say is, it feels a bit of a small kitchen, right? Now this is a 3-bed. Now if it's a 3-bed, it means it's probably an 8-berth. I don't know if it's still got what you call it, a pull-out bed in the sofa, but it will probably design as an 8-berth, right? Now if you've got that many people, having such a small kitchen space might be a little bit of an issue, but it's got everything you need. It's got your cooker, it's got plenty, it's got cupboards around it. Although they are a little bit small, you've still got space for everything you need. It's just going to be a little bit tighter fit than what I'd probably personally like to see. What I do like, to say it's an old Caravan and it's 10-year-old, it's actually got an extractor fan. I think whoever prepares this Caravan might need to look at cleaning it because it does feel a little bit greasy at the minute. But it's quite rare to get extractor fans on old Caravans. Quite often they just seem to have this bit of a tunnel thing like wood above it, and it's essentially just letting the smell go around the entire Caravan. So to have the extractor fan, that is definitely a bonus. The cooker, standard, looks clean, looks functional, can't moan at that. Normal sink, we've got a fabric pull down blind. I prefer these over the metal ones all day long, so happy with that. The only thing that you can say that's wrong with this really is it's just a little bit small. Likewise, this microwave looks a little bit out of place in here. I mean, it's a good quality Russell Hobbs one. Yeah, and going back, just quickly going back to the cooker and the extractor fan, is I'm not very tall, and yet I'm like head height with this. So you might find that if you are particularly tall, maybe it'll get in your way a little bit. But other than that, it is what it is. Now we are missing something very important here, but the sales guys have said it's not an issue, we've got one on order, and that's basically a fridge freezer. I believe the previous owners, when they upgraded the Caravan, they took their fridge freezer with them, but there is a new one coming, so it's not an issue. So I'm in the bedroom. This is the master bedroom, and it's quite a nice little bedroom actually. However, the first thing I did notice when I sat down, my head naturally hit this wooden bit, and the designers, they have put in these panels to stop you sort of hurting your head, but sat in this position straight away, my head's hitting it. So in order to get that panel, you definitely have to be more laid down than usual. Still in shot? So I'm quite, I'm having to lean more back than I'd like. You know what I mean? If I was sat having a cup of tea in bed, I wouldn't lay like this. I'd be a bit more sat up, which means my head's hitting the wood. Now, I do actually know whose Caravan this used to be, so, it's quite funny, because I know whose bed I'm actually in right now. So I bet they're loving that, watching this. Now, it is nice. I like this. It's got like a texture to the wall. And you don't see this in many Caravans. And you hear it. It's like I don't even know what you call it, but it gives the room quite a nice look to it. And then above me for storage, we've got this huge unit here, and the shelves are really, really deep. The big shelves, the wide shelves, so you can get a lot of stuff on there. So you can get a lot of stuff on there, a lot of knickknacks and tat and stuff that generally makes your caravan look quite nice. Now at the side of the bed, we've just got like a little tiny drawer type thing. And it's alright for putting your cup of tea on and maybe a notepad or a book. And then all we've got here is a light switch for the main light. There's no additional lamps or additional plugs to be able to charge your phone in here, which could be a little bit frustrating. But that's what you get when you buy a van that's 10-year old. It's not built for modern technology. Going above the window, now the window is nice and big and it's double glazed. We've got a wooden pelmet with some nice curtains of like a flowery design in them that kind of matches the bed that they've put on it. Now, at the back of the room, we've got a big wardrobe. There's a lot of space in it and it's got some drawers underneath. And then we've got a little shelf where women can do the makeup and hair, or men do the hair as well. And underneath there, we've got an old school flat. I'm not 100% sure actually if that's a flat radiator or if it's a fan heater. It could be either or. There is only one plug though above the shelf. So if you're doing your hair and you need a hair dryer and a straightener, you're gonna have to keep switching plugs. Right, so I made a mistake before. At this side of the bed there is only a switch for the light, but there is no plugs. At the other side there is a plug socket, which means you could have your phone charged and rely on this for the light. I don't think there's much more I can say about this other than it's relatively clean. It does what it needs to do. It's it's a decent sized bed. There's a bit of room around it, and you've got a nice big wardrobe in here. Right, so we're in one of the children's bedrooms. Now I'm only going to film in one because they're pretty much the same. I'm not sure why the salespeople have done this though, but they've put some mattresses in that are totally different in thickness, and they've done it in both rooms, so they might need to come and look at that because one's really low and one's really high. Obviously must be a premium mattress because it's well thick, but pretty much the rooms are fairly identical. We've got this wooden board going around with a pad in the middle, probably a bit more suited to children, to be fair. They're probably less likely to bang their head on that than us as an adult. Then we've got this big huge cabinet above the bed, which is more than ample sort of space to store all the toys and any little bits and bats that the that the win from arcades and whatnot. Then we've got a little mirror on the side, followed by a wardrobe at the far end of the bed with a couple of drawers in, and there's a little fan heater underneath the wardrobe. Other than that, there's not a great deal to say, but you know what, for a 10-year-old van, it does look fairly well looked after, even in the kids' room, where kids are more prone to causing mayhem and havoc, aren't they? So we're in the shower. And you know what? It's got this huge door. Look at that. And it folds all the way back, which means if you're a big gentleman, you can get in and out of the shower without a problem. And then if we slide it back across, it creates a perfect seal, which is nice because quite often you see in caravans, because of the movement of the caravan, they don't always get that perfect seal. Now going around it, you've got a little shelf as well to the side, which is ideal just to put your shampoo and conditioner on. And the shower area itself just looks a nice big shower, and the shower head goes pretty much all the way to the ceiling. So if you're a large chap, if you're tall, right, this is a perfect shower for you. You've got ample space around you. Now looking at the bathroom, the sink's got a nice little cabinet underneath it. It almost reminds me of what quite a lot of Willerby lodges have got in them. So that's quite nice and neat. And then the toilet, there's a lot of room actually around the toilet. So when you sat there having your morning sit down time, you'll find that you've got plenty of space for your legs and they're not touching any radiators that might burn your knees. What we do have though is we've got this strange towel rack at the far end that sort of goes around a bit like a snake, and I'm presuming that that's a heated towel rack, and it's going to warm the bathroom and warm your towels. If it's not, it's a very strange thing to have there. And then we've got, again, a bit like the kitchen, we've got a fabric pull down blind, which again I prefer them over the metal ones they put in all the modern caravans, so that's quite nice. And it's got the walls, I've got like a very light blue sort of finish to them. I quite like this bathroom. It's nice. There's nothing massively bad to say about it. Yeah, I do like this. So I've had a good look around this, right? And for a 10-year-old van, I quite like this. I quite like it. The only thing I don't like is I'm not a massive fan of the kitchen. I just feel like it's a little bit small for me, and I feel like I get on top and me and my partner are getting each other's way. So I'm not that keen on that. But what I do like, I really like the bathroom. The bathroom's nice. I like the fact that it's a big shower, and I like the fact that there's plenty of space around the toilet. The bedrooms look nice as well. Maybe not a fan of the board. I should also point out there's a second toilet as well that I've taken some pictures of. So the second toilet, the space around it, it's always a benefit to be able to have a second toilet. The living room, like I've said before, it's really nice. There's plenty of space to sit and have all your family around. So on a whole, it's a really, really good caravan. And you're getting a lot of caravan for your money at 24,995. Now, if they let you have that for 12 years, like they have been extending some to, so if you can have a 12 years on it, you're essentially talking, so if you have 12 years on it, you're looking at about just under £2,000 a year, which I think is good value. Add on your pitch fees, and for the same price of a 2-week holiday all-inclusive abroad, you could be owning a caravan, which I think is great. Now this caravan, it's perfect if you're not quite sure if caravanning life is for you. As a starter, before you upgrade onto something in the 40, 50, 60,000 pound range. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on it. It's a nice caravan. I like it. It ticks the boxes. Now you might be interested to learn the cost of what it costs to run a caravan, and you can watch that video here. And that brings you to the end of this video, so ciao very much.
No!
Yes.